great to be here and to see so many people who are interested in this. I already enjoyed the roundtable discussion, which I found good to see how many diverse people are interested in this general topic, which Nathan introduced amazingly, I think. Yeah, so I wanted to say a little bit about Fairmondo, or some words about Fairmondo and about the model that we developed to make this company work. We called it Co-op 2.0, and that has several reasons. One reason was the feeling that, well, no, let's start first. In the beginning, when I was by myself and feeling that there's a need to start something, I wanted to create a corruption resilient, resistant business. So, yeah, some kind of company that is able to live up to some principles, even if it grows big. And Fairmondo is an online marketplace. It's a new type of eBay or Amazon marketplace. That's the hope, that's the goal. And so the big question was, okay, if we really want to create something that, if it has the capacities to take over market shares from Amazon, from eBay, then still sticks to the values that we actually think why this should happen or why it should be. And this was my background. I had no ideas about co-ops. I had a lot of stereotypes about it. I thought it was dry, old school concept, bureaucratic, hopelessly deemed to limit himself in endless discussions and so on. So I thought, well, yeah, and I thought, okay, let's call it Co-op 2.0 and develop a completely new model. But then on the way, people from the co-op scene in Germany convinced me, like, what you're doing there is actually a co-op. And you can actually, all of these ideas, you can actually put them into the co-op model. And so, yeah, and finally I was convinced, we all were convinced, and founded a co-op. But still, I call it Co-op 2.0 because it has some specific elements, and I think it's important. Nathan, you cited that there are so many people already members of co-ops, 4 in Germany, 1 of 4 in Germany, for example. And but if you then look at detail, most of them have an account at a co-op bank and don't even know what a co-op is. And co-ops make altogether about $2 trillion of turnover per year, which is an amazing. It's about the size of the GDP of Italy. But then if you look what kind of businesses are these that make the large part of this turnover, then it's large-scale supermarket chains where you have to be a supermarket owner to become a member of a co-op. And this is not really what we were looking for, something much more accountable to people and, well, yeah, corruption resilient. So, Fairmondo is a marketplace, and if you use it, it looks a little different now, but if you use it, it feels first of all like any online marketplace or shop. You can buy and sell stuff. One thing that is a little special is that we promote fair trade, ecological and products, or products that are produced by small producers that put value into a good quality. And we have these filters which make it easy to identify these kind of products, and then you can see it here pretty easily. So this is just one specific element about it, otherwise it's basically just a marketplace. Yeah. So when we started this, we screened the market and looked for interesting open source tools that we could use to make this happen, and realized at the time we didn't find something that really seemed to be able to do what we want to do. And I found some co-founders who were informatics students who were eager to create something themselves, and so we started on this crazy journey to develop our own open source software for online marketplaces. Crazy journey, but at some point we had a developer team, and we managed to do some successful crowdfunding around this. At the time, the second most successful crowdfunding campaign in Germany, raised over 200,000 euro, had a little bit of money to pay some people and to move on with the development. And we also had people who helped us with the open source mentality to get things done. So in 2013, at 4 o'clock in the morning, we had a little drink because we launched our platform. But it was at the time a pretty simple platform. It's allowed to sell and buy stuff. We already had, I think, we met our goal of 5,000 products on the platform when we launched. But all of these had to be put in by hands by people like you do in eBay as a private seller. For professional sellers, that's not really what they expect if they want to use a marketplace. It gets really complicated if you create a multi-vendor marketplace for B2C and C2C trades. It's just a big, very expensive task. And so yeah, we tried this, we do this, and this was in 2013 in September. And by now our marketplace is a little better. It does have a mass upload function. We have over 2 million articles on the platform, but most of these are books. So by chance we became really the kind of new Amazon, at least in style, or let's say in terms of products. In size we're far not there. Don't worry. We're still pretty small. We're still working with the community of early adopters. There are about 14,000 who registered on the platform, and it's actually quite good that we try to do some reach out advertisement to actually grow the user base, but we realized that as soon as we go out of this group of early adopters, we get a lot of harsh critique that we can't really answer to because we don't have the resources to then provide all these functions, in particular the number of products that people are looking for. They ask us, why don't I find this specific cable that I need for this instrument? It's just, yeah, it's hard to compete with Amazon. So we realized we have to do more of this. We have to, in particular, provide better functions to sellers, and that's what we are focusing on right now, improving functions to sellers, and then work with specific sellers like Fairphone, producers or sellers, to reach out to a small but dedicated target group, and through that grow the business. And we have over 1,500 registered sellers, so sellers are really open to join this. They hate Amazon, they hate by now also eBay, I must say. That's what we get. They don't like this kind of top-down policies that they get on their heads there. And yeah, well, I'm not going too much into detail of the practices of Amazon, how they basically rip off their little sellers in the marketplace. But yeah, that's why we have a lot of people who are also willing to pay us a monthly fee. We're introducing a monthly fee now. We made a survey amongst our sellers, not just members, but sellers, to see if they want to have a monthly fee, and they actually said, yes, we want one. At least some of them, or yeah, and they suggested a higher fee than we were thinking of introducing. So yeah, because I think what they want is actually better software. And not that it's completely bad, but there's space for improvement. So yeah, in the co-op by now we have over 2,000 members, so we see that there's people who want to join. And they put altogether about 600,000 euro in co-op shares into this. It's not big amounts of money in terms of startup capital, but for us it's very important. Well, yeah, resources, and at the same time it's also a responsibility because it's the money of private people or of people, not somewhere from the financial market. So it's something where we have to be very careful with. Yeah, okay. So now, so much about Fairmondo. Do I still have time actually, or
around 3 or 4 minutes?
Okay, I'll jump very quickly through our Co-op 2.0 principles. So just to give you an idea why Fairmondo, I hope, is fairer than Amazon. We have fair basic principles in the statute, and they involve, for example, that we have a fixed maximum salary or a fixed salary range. The highest salary can be maximum 3 times the lowest salary. And there are other principles that try to ensure that the company is fair, or the cooperative. And there's also a principle that if we don't, if for some practical reasons we feel we can't fully live up to a principle, we have to communicate why and make it up to public discussion. Yeah. it's always nice if you say you're fair and you have all these principles and you call yourself Fairmondo, but for me, be corruption resistant means you have to be accountable to actually what you say. So democratic accountability is very important. The co-op is, and that's why we chose a co-op. That's why we made the model that you can join the co-op very easily with a threshold of 10 euro by now. One share is 10 euro, although people chose to put in an average about 300. Yeah, so that's very important. Also that we are multi-stakeholder co-op, so that all users and everybody who feels affected by the business can become a member, as well as the employees. We put a cap to the number of shares that anybody can hold, maximum 25,000 euro. Idea behind this is that, and this was one of the original ideas, we wanted to make sure that nobody can actually make a lot of money with Fairmondo at no time. And not through salaries, not through shares. And so by this we wanted to keep out people whose purpose in life is piling amounts of money. And very importantly for all this, I think, is really make sure that everything what's happening is transparent, except for private data protection, but everything else. And we have a principle that anything that we can legally publish, we have to publish, including our bank account, which you can see live in real time on the internet. Yeah, we do. We are a co-op, and we can make profits and surplus, and we even have a model to distribute a bit of the surplus. But it's going. And this is a very old school graphic, but I still use it in the presentation. But still, okay. We just defined very clearly how this surplus has to be used, or profit, or how you want to call it. So 25% through the member shares, 25% through a point system, and these points you earn by investing time, or also by buying shares in the early stage. So we have some kind of risk premium, if you want so. 25% are donated, and users on the platform can decide where, and 25% will then be used for supporting Fairmondo, and yeah, and all this is only if we make a surplus, and so far maybe 2016 will be the first year where we make it, but maybe, and let's not yeah, talk too much about this. Yeah, really, because it's, for me, it's one big learning. We have to think long term and have to be resistant through difficult periods, but we, on the other hand, we discovered a lot of chances and a lot of support by many players, and right now it's about getting the capacities to actually work with all these partners that want to work with us, including co-op banks and others. That's really cool. So, and another important point for me is that we have a mechanism that employees have a special role. We have a very open co-op, and we can't talk, or I can't talk about governance now too much, but the one important thing is that in Germany a co-op needs a managing board, which is legally liable, and this managing board is elected by the employee assembly, not by the general assembly of all members. So basically employees decide who is kind of the managing team, and that should ensure that we have a culture of mutual respect and no hardcore hierarchies, and keep the open spirit that we have right now. Because if somebody starts playing the dictator, they can just be, well, put aside and somebody else put into this position. Yeah, and then very importantly, I think one aspect where we hope that it gives us the power to actually face Amazon and the likes, and that's the magic of the crowd. We're using crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, trying to involve people in marketing. We're open to open innovation. Members can create working groups to improve the platform. We're trying to partner with networks. So we're trying to basically use all means that socially helpful initiatives have to actually get strong. Yeah, well, just some images. And that was it. Thank you.